Alien tomb found in Russia. The ancient alien hypothesis, gold of the gods, included extensive research regarding a lost and very ancient city buried beneath most of Ecuador. In the book, he detailed about a man known as Juan Mortez, a figure who had managed to extensively explore the abandoned ancient underground tunnel systems and the entrance to the forgotten world. TrinityRedorBluePill, HiHoKermitTheFrogHere. Come with me, and you'll see a world. Okay, so this golden sarcophagus was found with mounds of golden jewels and coins were in the Cueva de los Teos, known as the Teos Caves. So while exploring, he said Llanos claimed that he had stumbled across a secret passage which led to rooms that were filled with the mounds of golden jewels and coins and this golden sarcophagus. And it was placed within an intact ancient metallic library containing books made from a strange metal. Now, Llanos' research suggested that the golden fortune, along with the sarcophagus and metallic library located within these artificial tunnels, had been placed there by a lost civilization. And it was done with the help of extraterrestrial beings. Now, Juan Mortez actually stumbled upon an ancient alien tomb, which had managed to survive many thousands of years without being disturbed. Early civilizations speak about aliens. With von Däniken's book taken seriously, they resulted in the most expansive cave exploration ever undertaken. Now, Stan Hall from Britain commented upon this expedition that in 1976 the goal was finding the golden artifacts and hopefully an alien. The existence of the unearthed from these exact cave systems has miraculously been documented in the past. Not only had some of these mythical items been recovered, the artifacts had been brought and collected by a man known as Father Crespi. He was born in Milan, Italy in 1891, and he died in 1982. He was a Salesian monk, lived in a small town of Cuenca in Ecuador. For more than 50 years, he did not have much wealth, but what he did have, he used to help the less fortunate. And he was an avid collector of what could be known to be classified as impossible artifacts. And he would encourage those who needed money to bring him whatever items they could find within the jungles, and he would pay them for their troubles. Artifacts exhibited a language, a highly developed ancient civilization. The collection also included several metallic books inscribed with exquisite unknown language. So upon Father Crespi's death, this collection was looted by unknown people, and all artifacts of interest were placed with the obvious forgeries or simply stolen. Upon returning from their unsuccessful expedition, the lead researcher met with Llanos Mori's indigenous source, who claimed that they had investigated the wrong cave and that the source had been paid for his silence. And what's interesting is the fact that the team's efforts were not entirely fruitless. The characteristics of the cave systems they explored matched that of the description given by von Däniken. What's more than actually unearthed, zoological, botanical, and archaeological features are unexplainable for this geographical location, unless it was visited by a group of people capable of traveling the seas far before Columbus. So what do you think of these Teos caves? Roswell, New Mexico, 1947. The Archives of History the U.S. government's Men in Black, and many of you may be aware of this peculiar report on July 15, 2008, where Physical Sciences of Department at Eastern New Mexico University in regards to an amazing discovery made at the crash site some years later by an auto repairman Robert Ridge while deer hunting in the area on the 4th of September 2004. Reached into the chocolate-colored sandstone very close to the crash site with a remarkable worked engraving visible on its front and has become known as the Roswell Rock, measuring 5 centimeters. It has a pattern of beveled edges and raises up 1/8 of an inch. And this rock, during the research attempts, they're trying to decipher the pattern. And the stone was subsequently matched to an extraordinary crop circle in the castle of Wiltshire, England. The formation was made far away from where they found the rock. And how is this a coincidence? And how do we believe that a rock that's at Littleton Castle in Wiltshire, England, made the formation, or was made on the standing of the rock pattern and the raised of the bevel and making of this stone, matching the opposite piece of yet this unknown puzzle? Lab test results concluded that upon the back of the stone, where the 3 pits were visible, were likely larger grains and that had fallen out over time. So this pattern was deliberately placed on the back and found with a series of embedded calcite-like crystals in the shape of an X or cross, and discovered that the stone had a strong magnetic attraction, and the presence of the magnetic energy dispersed fluorescent spectrometer of the EDXRF confirmed that the presence of the strange iron metal. Strangely, when the magnetic influence over the thickest end of the rock turns counterclockwise. However, when the lower crescent and circle in the thinnest end of the rock reverses and turns clockwise, and some have concluded that this is deliberately placed as a riddle in the form of a clue or message. Varying clockwise and counterclockwise plays a fundamental characteristic of the authentic crop formations worldwide. Crystal skulls, and how do you tell the difference between a fake and a real one? And the Jane McLaren Welsh of the Smithsonian Museum, unfortunately she should know, Walsh has seen her share of effects. In fact, she's probably seen more crystal skulls than anyone else alive, subsequently becoming the leading academic on this subject. And Western skeptics, with their ruthless ethic, only the most puzzling will convince Jane. Another major player in the skull game, according to Welsh, was Frederick Arthur Mitchell Hedges, an English stockbroker turned adventurer, who in 1943 began displaying a scholar dinner parties which he called the Skull of Doom, and his daughter Alla later claimed that he'd found the skull in rowing in a temple of Belize during the 1920s. Now, later it's been found to be a lie under investigations. However, the Society of London Research Institute, specializing in taxonomy and natural history, revealed that Mitchell Hedges actually purchased his skull at an auction in London of 1943. Now, this auction house was never established, which was unfortunate because Mitchell Hedges' skull, according to Walsh, after the scrupulous examination, is the only one she has ever had to reluctantly confirm as an authentic crystal skull, and only academically accepted the original known within the public archives. Smaller than the other examples, which under microscopes analyzes which would have been seen to have made a rotary drills. Mitchell Hedges' skull is more finely crafted, yet more crudely designed, and the example under atomic microscope shows signs of having indeed been an ancient pre-Columbian artifact, which sure enough was constructed using, quote, unknown technology. The crystal skulls around the world, there's so many stories surrounding their mysterious construction. Mitchell's Skull of Doom is unquestionably an exquisite example of unknown history. And here upon our planet, regardless of beliefs or indeed superstitions, which now support this theory of the lost civilization and ancient visitation. 1973, Romania workers, Miri River, uncovered an aluminum artifact buried within the remains of two large prehistoric mastodons in a place known as Asaid, about 35 feet deep in the sand. Metal fragments unearthed, a fragment that would subsequently be covered by the Romanian government for over 30 years. The deputy director of Romania Ufologists Association laboratory tests original concluded that it was almost likely an old UFO fragment, given that the substances it comprised that cannot be combined with technologies available on Earth. Even to this day, the artifact is now on display in the History Museum of Archaeological Institute, who examined it and made it an alloy aluminum encased in a thin layer of oxide composed of 12 different elements and 89 aluminum, covered by a thick oxide layer, and the thickness of the layer is said to be confirmation of the object's immense age. Many skeptics have attempted to explain the artifact away as an elaborate hoax. Well, I don't know much, but I do know that the electromagnetic field, the energy that we're made of and that's all around us, in the toroidal field, is doing a lot of things with the electromagnetic spectrums. So, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I'll be bringing you another one very soon. Humongous hugs, high fives, and good vibes always. Trinity, RedOrBluePill, HiHoKermitTheFrogHere.